Okay, we are back for the last half of our episode of Fate of the Woods. Um, that was a mess. I feel like Emmeline just came out of that like in rough shape yet again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
so
still haven't
sorry.
won anybody over either, so I'm not doing that great either.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Guitar's not a people person.
It's we're both too busy like participating in these sword measuring contests.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's check in with Belladonna. Um, Amir and I were very briefly discussed what could possibly happen next. So Amir, what's happening with Belladonna after the wolf and Piotr run away?
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Amir.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
okay.
So after the incident with Piotr and after watching sort of the opening ceremony, where Piotr's mom, what's her name?
Rosamanya.
Rosamania. She presented Qatar as the Brightwoods champion who is going to take part in the trial.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, this is, two birds. So as soon as the opening ceremony dies down and people go back to their respective tents, she um, sets out to find Rosamania and talk to her.
Sure. So you're gonna roll your Brightbound skill to begin a scene with another character. But here's the thing. If you fail, and this is really easy for me actually, is that she is going to have already found her son at this point.
Okay.
Just because based on the timing too, it's close. We're cutting it close.
Yes.
If you succeed though, she'll greet you without knowing about her son yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
So I'm rolling Brightbound to do what?
To just create a scene with her, and find
Okay.
her in a state that is like amenable, basically.
Right. So the modifier is 0.
Yep.
The difficulty is
She is a rank. I want to say 5 character. She's a rank 5 character.
so difficulty 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's I can't
She's a big deal.
create a scene with Rosa Mania.
Ooh. Yeah, no.
That
Okay.
is what is happening today.
Right.
Yeah.
Roll
Um,
20, okay?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Okay, so what happens then?
Okay, so are you going to her? Let's say that you go. Where would you typically meet her?
Well, generally I would meet her at her residence, but right now I think they're in tents in the Brightwood, aren't they? Considering
The nobility have their tent set up, but she would still be in her home.
right. So that's where I would head.
Ooh. Um. Yeah. I'm wondering if we should even play out this scene, because I think she's going to not be interested in having a conversation if this is the situation at the moment.
Right.
She might just be like indisposed, and this just might be like you might have to wait till later.
Right, considering she's like all, built up because of her son.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. With a roll that shitty, I understand.
Yeah. Do you want to wait? Like we could even just say that time passes, or um, we could pursue another goal.
Well, the next thing I want to do is, well, I want to talk to her about Qatar, but if she's predisposed and I can't do that, then my next goal
Hmm.
would be, uh, well, so the knights are with the nobility in their respective tents, or do they have their own tents?
The knights would be in there and would have their own tents.
Okay. Then I'll probably want to go talk to the Knight of Rampion.
Your child?
Mhm.
Oh my god.
She's not allowed to know that I'm her mom, but that's the only person I can talk to.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, are you going at night?
Yeah. I'm going because I can't. There's no time to waste, and if I can't talk to, I can't talk to Rosamunia right now. I have to do something before the morning comes.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to find your child, and what do you want to do exactly?
I want to let her know that I will help her win the trial. I
Who-
want to let her know that winning the trial is very important, and that because I'm a messenger from the Ringwood, that I've received special information that there are only certain people who can succeed if they win the trial, and that she's one of them.
But okay, I understand what you want to tell her, and we'll role play that through that for sure. But what is it that you want from the scene?
I want her to let me help her win,
Okay.
and to not, to believe me and to let me help her win.
Okay. Cool. So, you got to do another roll.
Oh, God.
Um, yeah, you're gonna roll. Well, you're gonna roll Kingdom Bound because she's a knight.
I don't have that.
Okay.
How much?
And it's a 4. But the failure won't be that you don't get to talk to her. It'll just be that this is going to be a shitty
An
setup.
uphill climb.
Yeah,
Okay.
which makes sense anyway.
Yeah. Modifier 0.
Hmm.
Difficulty 4. To talk to my daughter. Good God.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's garbage. So, are you going to? You said you didn't want to go as yourself. Or are you going to go as yourself?
I'm gonna go as myself.
Perfect.
I'm absolutely gonna go as myself. There's no
Okay.
trickery when it comes to my dad.
Okay.
So I see.
You head your way through the town, towards the area where the nobles are, or where their tents would be set up. There are knights wandering about, and I don't know if they would let you pass if they saw you coming. Um, so I don't know if you want to how you want to go about getting to her
Okay.
tent.
So how about this? I get one spell to I get one of my stunts is sorcery, right? So I can cast a magic spell extending a skill beyond its mundane means.
Yep.
I want to cast a spell to extend subtlety.
Hmm.
So that I can sneak past them into the tent.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, or you could technically just use your shapeshifting ability, which is your trickery.
Right.
Just trying to help you out here.
Right. So okay. So I'll do that. I'll shapeshift into. Well, okay. I can shapeshift into one of the knights' attendants, and so it wouldn't be weird that I'm out there.
Yeah. Okay. So you get a +1 because it's your stunt.
Right. And I'm
And
rolling
roll your trickery, and it's going to be a difficulty 4.
difficulty 4.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. going past nights here. It's
Yeah.
not. Okay, so modifier 1,
Mhm.
difficulty 4, to sneak past.
There you go.
Great.
Yeah. So no one even really notices you. You just make your way through the camp towards her tent, I guess. How do you know where it is?
Um, I've watched which one she went into, and I can see the light flickering in there.
Okay.
And I've sort of been very cautiously following her around throughout the night, just making sure to know where she is, and that the thorn is out of sight, and that the thorn has gone to his own tent. And I very quietly and slowly walk in and look around to see where she is and if she noticed that I'm there.
She is. So when you walk into the tent, there are a couple candles lit, um, and there is a makeshift bed that's been set up for her, and she is kneeling with her elbows on the bed, and she has her hands clasped, and she's sort of quietly praying, and you hear her say, "Dear Rose, our dear mother, please bless our house. Bless my family, and bless my mother, the Thorn of Rampion. For we must win." And she doesn't quite notice that you're there. Do you transform back? How do you...
I, as soon as I notice that she's not looking at me, I transform back and stand there silently, listening. And my eyes start to well up as she goes through her prayer. And as soon as she mentions my mother, the Thorn of Rampion, my hand starts to tighten around my wand, and my jaw starts to clench, and involuntarily I let out a very slightly audible breath.
She quickly turns, and before you even have time to blink, she's drawn her blade from a place you didn't even know where it was. She's just reflexes.
And I stand there very calmly and look at her dead in the eyes and very quietly and very slowly say, "My knight, I am very sorry to have startled you."
I'm not startled, but I would advise that you leave.
I understand that you need your privacy and that an intruder is not allowed at the moment, but I believe I have something important to talk to you about.
You've interrupted me. I would ask that you leave. And she glances at her blade again.
I look at her very calmly and I stand there for a couple of seconds and I say, "I only ask that you listen to me. I know that this is uncommon and I know you do not know who I am, but I know who you are. And I think that if you do not think what I say is of value, I will leave and you will never see me again. But I do wish to speak to you."
And she studies you, and the expression on her face changes from like guardedness to like a little bit of confidence. Um, and she says, I know exactly who you are. Mother warned me that this would happen someday.
I do not doubt that she did. And I can imagine what stories you must have heard and what you believe would happen once I arrive. And maybe there is no way for me to convince you otherwise. But I humbly ask that you merely listen to me. May I speak to you?
I know your intentions.
What is it that you've heard?
She's read me the stories since I was little. The one about the witch from the woods who takes the child and locks her away in a tower. Is that not what you want from me? I have no reason to trust witches.
So I look at her and start to smile very faintly. And I say, I know that story very well. And as much as it is a big part of what I believe you've been told, it is not what I seek of you. And you may not believe me when I say this, but the rose has sent me here.
Lies.
Well then, I understand that this will not be easy for me to get across, so I will just say what I have to say, and you can think on it.
And I think the reason that she hasn't just leapt at you and cut you in half is because even though she's been warned by her mother about you, in this moment, she is feeling something else that keeps her interested in what you have to say at the exact same time.
Yeah. And so I want to speak quickly, and she doesn't have a lot of time to get across what she has to say. But she says, I know that you wish to win the trial tomorrow. And all I want you to know is that I wish it at least as much as you do. There are only a select few who are able to stand a chance in the Ringwood in order to bring back the rose. And I know that you have trained for years and have been told many stories and are more than prepared for this moment. All I wish to tell you is that I want to help you win.
Why?
And her smile sort of flickers for a minute. And she says, whatever it is that I tell you, you will not believe me. And I know that you may not trust witches, and this is the first time you have met me, but all I can tell you is if you at all feel that you could use the aid of anyone, then I am here to offer it to you. And that is all I have to say.
I don't need your help. I've trained for this my whole life, and I know that I will succeed tomorrow.
And Belladonna looks at her very calmly and lets her sit there for a moment and says, I understand. The offer will stand, and you can find me at the tavern if you need me.
You still haven't told me why.
You will understand in due time.
That's not an answer.
I know. But there is only so much I can say. And there is so much you've been told. And there is nothing I can say, and there is not enough time to say it, to make you understand what the truth actually is.
I have no reason to follow you. Give me something, if this is what you want. Why? Why do you want me to win? What do you care?
And Belladonna realizes that it's going to be a losing battle no matter what, but she looks at her and says, your eyes, that is a color one does not see very often. They very much remind me of a man I once knew. He had the same colored eyes as you do.
What of it?
All it is to say is, I know you better than you think I do. And if you want to know, I will be at the tavern.
All of these puzzles and riddles. Can you not speak plainly, witch?
I wish I could. But if only you knew what it took even for me to come here and tell you these things. I wish you understood that I speak the truth, but I completely understand if you do not.
What will you tell me at the tavern that you cannot tell me here?
Have you ever wondered why you do not resemble your mother?
You like catch you catch her off guard with that question. And then she shakes her head and she says, no,
All right.
it's just a miracle of the land, is what I've been told.
That it may be. And then she wants to go further, but then stops herself and says, this is no time to speak of these things. The night before the trial. I will not have you be emotionally unstable or have much on your mind before you undertake the most important thing you have to do tomorrow. If you wish to speak more, I will be at the tavern. And all you need to know is, if you need any aid of any kind, that is what I am here for.
I won't have time to come to this cavern. Tell me what it is that you are offering me now.
Are you saying that you wish me to help you?
No. I am puzzled by your presence here.
And Belladonna takes a step towards her and smiles and says, your eyes are not of this land. You belong to the land from which you seek to go into tomorrow. Is there any part of you that believes that?
No.
And she takes... Sorry, go ahead.
I am my mother's daughter.
And Belladonna starts to take a step but then stops. Looks at her and smiles and says, that you are. and then turns around and starts to leave.
Okay, so what do you want from this scene? Because she's told you she's not going to go to the tavern.
What I'm sensing is that
How could you prove it to her?
okay. I look at her very seriously and I say, I will ask you this once and only once. Do you wish to see the truth?
What does that mean?
I am a witch, after all, and every witch has a power and a gift. And my gift is to show people who they really are. I cannot do that without your consent. But if you do, then you will see the truth. I will warn you that if you do, you cannot unknow this. And if it is going to affect your performance tomorrow, then I do not wish to burden you with it. But if it will help you, then that is all I want.
I don't think she's going to say anything. I think your role is going to determine what her response is to this. Because I think, honestly, there is a deep part of her that has always wondered why she is different than everyone else
Right.
in her family. So
Right.
you've like hit on the thing, for sure.
Right.
So this isn't a role to perform the spell yet. This is just a role to convince
And
her.
it's a yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You aren't lying.
No, I'm not lying. Is this like overprotective?
I mean, if you want to use,
I
Like
don't
a fate
yet.
point.
I want to use it for the spell if that works.
yeah. Let's see here. I believe if you're just speaking the truth and you're not talking about a specific topic, really. What are you saying you know the truth about exactly?
I know the truth about the fact because I cannot tell her I'm her mother. I can tell her she comes from the Ringwood. That's what I want to tell her. I want to tell her that she belongs to the Ringwood and therefore she has powers beyond which she knows of and that I can help her with.
Okay. I think this is even resolved. I think this is a ring-bound roll for
Okay.
you.
Okay. Great, that's
Um,
so good. I'm not complaining about that
I
one.
haven't put any stats in for her. I'm gonna give her this resolve. And did you want to use a fate point on this?
Not now. I want to be able to actually show it to her successfully once I get there.
Because if you fail, she's not going to consent. She's going to accuse you of like.
But I have like one fate point because I went all ape shit last time.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I know that feeling.
if you fail, there's nothing stopping you from like taking a consequence and trying again, or trying a different tactic as well to convince her.
right. And also, I'm good with ring bound, so that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna roll her.
I mean, she's a knight, so her resolve must be really high. I guess.
Yeah.
Unless it's like she's super sensitive about this one.
I think I might roll versus ringbound, and hers isn't as good as yours because she hasn't spent time there, but she's still Fey.
Well, half fate.
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. And you're not using a fate point?
No, not for this one. No.
Okay, so I'm going to roll now. 2.
Okay. I can do this. This is a doable thing that I can do.
You can do it.
Okay, so my modifier is 0.
Mm-hmm.
My difficulty is 2.
I heard the roll, but I don't see anything. Where is it?
It's 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now it's loading up. Hey!
Okay.
Okay. So you just, what was that last line you just said to her? I can show you the truth or whatever.
Yeah, like I can show you the truth, but once you know it, you cannot unknow this.
And she shudders and like looks around the room. Like, what am I, like, why am I even thinking this? And for a moment, her eyes shimmer this like phosphorescent green. Don't make me regret this.
And
you will not. And she looks at her blade again. You will not be in a comfortable position.
Belladonna slowly takes out her wand and sort of stirs it in the air into concentric circles, and a sort of misty haze that sort of sparkles and emits its own light sort of comes out of it, as if it's like a silk scarf made of specks of light and dust and mist comes out of it, and slowly inches its way towards her and sort of wishes to just sort of become a part of her. So do I have to roll for this for it to work?
Yes. You have a stunt.
You guys, clearly I haven't done this a lot. Like this is taking an emotional toll that I'm not.
You have a stunt about transforming people whenever you turn someone into their.
I add number +1 to intimidation.
Yeah.
Yes, this is intimidation, right?
Because you're. Yeah, the idea behind your spell is that you're showing them
they're who they really are. Like I'm giving a sense of the truth.
Yeah, the things that they're afraid to see about themselves.
Exactly, but also I think the idea of it, the way I thought of it, is it just becomes an innate knowledge. Like it becomes like exposition to this person that it is an absolute truth.
Can I propose a failure state?
I have one in mind already.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have one already in mind.
Okay, so what do you? Okay, so am I? Okay, so I'm rolling intimidation with a modifier of 1.
Yeah, what do you want from this experience for her?
What I want her is to know that she is half fae. She's from the Ringbound. She's from the Ringwood.
Yeah.
And for that to get her to understand that I was telling the truth.
Yeah, so you just want her to like confront her like true nature, basically?
Yes, and to actually, because of that, understand that I'm telling the truth and that I am in a capacity to help her.
Okay.
So she asks for help. That's the ideal situation.
Yeah. If you fail, you will still transform her, but you will turn her into the fear will be too much for her, and what she transforms into will be something that you will have to try to contain, or else it will wreak havoc in the camp.
All right. Okay. Hey, I may cry.
We're rooting for you, bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember again, if you fail, you could take a consequence instead
Right.
and try
Right.
again. But there's only so many consequences you can take before you run out. So.
Okay.
Mm,
So what are you roll? What are you rolling?
that's a good question. You're using intimidation, so it's going to be against her resolve.
Okay.
Is that what it's going to be? Yeah, I think so. She's stubborn. Hmm, 3. You can do this. You get a +1 from your stunned.
I do get a +1, so let's do this.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend your fate point now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Overprotected.
Overprotected.
Yeah.
I already have a +1,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a modifier of 2.
2.
Great. That's it. I got nothing. Please. This is my goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Jeez. Okay.
Be gentle.
So, if you accept things as they are, this is the concession, I think, is that she trusts you and knows this to be true, but she's still gonna be completely freaked out and
Okay.
and break loose in sort of like horror of this transformation. So do you want to accept that or
Yeah.
do you want to take a consequence and try again?
So what's a consequence?
Well, we can decide what that is.
Pardon?
It's some kind of like, yeah, just any kind of complication that could arise from attempting to do this.
Yeah, I can.
It'd be a mild one.
Okay.
So I think you would just be like out of breath or something like that. It's like a very like the
Yes,
the
I would
spell
be-
takes a little bit out of you.
The spell, I think the consequence would be is once I try this, I cannot cast another spell for a while.
I mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be that cut and dry. Like
Okay. So
like we
it
can just
could-
say exhausted, and maybe that will come up at some point. Then I'll compel you to not cast a spell at some point later.
Okay. Okay. So let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write it into your character sheet for you there. Okay. So you can roll again.
But now it's
You still get the
Modifier.
same modifiers. You're just getting to try again. Exactly what you
okay.
just did.
Wait. Let's see, 3. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
So
Now-
I think because she is Fae already, your first attempt at sort of like casting the spell doesn't quite like penetrate her her aura, and it takes like an extra like oomph of willpower for you to just like to properly cast the spell on her.
Right.
And that scarf that you're describing wraps around her. And she gives out this like little what's the word, like a gasp almost, like a stifled cry, as she feels her skin starts to crawl almost, and slowly she begins to turn it to wood. Her skin, her face, her hair becomes petals. Her feet turn to roots that burst into the ground and plant herself. And she looks at you almost like in horror. And you just stand there for a few moments as she's just looking at her hands that are now almost like branches that are stretching out, and more branches are breaking loose from her arms, and these petals are bursting from them. And there's just this phosphorescent light, this beautiful light that is just like emanating from her. And I think we'll end the scene there. Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah, and I think the final like shot of like the episode is that we see from outside the tent, and there's just this like green pulsing light inside the tent. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll end it there. And it's 8:20, so we should probably wrap up the episode now.
Guys, I can't. Okay.
I know. So here's the thing.
Calm down.
The next episode is technically the final one that I pitched to all of you. So we can chat a little bit afterwards about like what we want to do, if we want to like start back when I get back from Japan, because I'm going to Japan after the next one for a few weeks. If we want to come back, we can talk
Lucky
about that.
dog.
If not, we can wrap it up. If some people want to stay in, some people want to bounce, that's also cool, and we can sort of figure out what we want to do from there as well. I'm totally open to all of it, but for all intents and purposes, next episode is like the season finale, which I think is perfect because it's lining up with, I'm guessing, the trial is going to happen in this episode, so it's working out perfectly. We'll find out what happens to Katerina. It's not looking so hot. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be a really good like season finale for this.
Yeah, look at the field in which I grow my fate points, and behold, there are none.
Yeah. So, because we have 10 minutes, let's go through our goals and see if we pursued any, and also if we like accidentally already compelled ourselves. I know that Emmeline did, because you decided to play your lute in the middle of a conversation. And I think that's you pursuing the romantic, so I would definitely give you a fate point for doing that. That was a compel on yourself for sure. But yeah, let's start with Qatar and work our way across. So Qatar, did you pursue any of your goals or complete any of your goals?
Nope. So my first goal, I must become the best sword master. I will convince the Brightwoods that I am their champion.
I think you worked towards it.
I worked towards it, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You definitely
didn't go very well.
You definitely work towards it. It's in that scene. So you get a fate point for that. I would almost argue that you were playing into your character being dangerous.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you didn't have to go down that road in that conversation, but you did.
Qatar was just trying to start shit the
Yeah.
whole...
Yeah. So I think
The more of a mess there is, the better things are for Qatar.
yeah, I think you played into that part of his personality for sure. So another fate point?
Yeah.
The other option is swap 2 adjacent skills, rewrite one of your aspects, which you probably don't need to do. Oh, these are outdated.
So can I move something from average to fair, or fair to good, etc.?
Yeah, you'd swap the 2 adjacent ones.
Then I want to move fitness up.
Okay. Where is it at? +1 right now?
Yeah,
What do you want to move down?
I'll move calm down.
Cool.
So I get a bonus to calm anyways.
I'm gonna rewrite these rules about groups. I think it's gonna be based on like what I think the average of the group is. Like if it's like a really like low level group in general, they'll all sort of share the same difficulty number. Something along those lines.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Especially in terms of like persuasion. That makes sense to me. Cool. Anything else? I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah. Cool. Next we have Emmeline.
I definitely made worked at the one about finding out what Qatar's true motivations are.
Yeah. And you definitely were pursuing the romantic with your songstressing.
My tone deaf songstressing.
Yeah.
I might be able to play for Mariel again. She's gonna be like, "Oh, honey, what happened?"
Bad timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't think I
you
made
did
any
much
progress
else.
on any of the other
Yeah.
ones. And honestly, I don't know that I would, given like the timeline, the in-game timeline.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do anything else I don't think it would do anything else with the goal for finding out what Qatar's true motivations were or are.
Yeah.
Because I mean, after this, it's
You're
basically
kinda
the
done with
trial
it.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want to say that you made, because you technically did 2 rolls, which counts as making an effort, which is part of the rules that I wrote down for accomplishing goals, is that if you feel like it's completed and you made an effort, which has made more than 1 roll towards it, then you can say that you completed it.
Yeah, that is what I would want,
Okay.
is to be able to complete it.
So, instead of taking 1 fate point, you could technically spend some fate points to increase one of your skills permanently if you wanted to, which just makes you stronger in general.
Okay.
Or you could rewrite a stunt, or you can just take a fate point like usual.
I want to increase one of my skills permanently.
Cool. So the only rule here in fate is that you don't have more in one column than you do in another column. Like in the row, or sorry, one row. You can have more in the row above than the row below.
Right, that makes sense.
So really, what that forces you to do, especially from your starting point, is to move 1 up from 0 to 1.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I think I'll move subtlety then.
Nice,
Because
because
that
you
was
definitely
really
need
fucking
it.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was fucking me real good.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Next we have Belladonna.
Well, the whole like I tried to go to Rosamania, but she wasn't there.
You did roll for it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's fair. You tried.
yeah, so that's the Brightwoods champion is a threat to my child winning the trial. I must make sure he does not win.
That's what you were going for, so.
And the Rose wants me to bring Piotr to them. Well, no, that I didn't do anything towards Katerina there, so.
No.
So I did two of them because the Thorn of Rampion. I want to lure my child into the eye. I did that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you? Cool. Do you feel like you compelled yourself at all with any of your? I don't think so. I don't think you acted like frivolously or like you didn't really.
No, I was pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. And last but not least, Katerina.
Piotr will be mine, and we'll keep him to myself. I think I pretty clearly followed that one.
Yeah.
I only get the 1 point for that, right? Even though
Mhm.
I did it a bunch. So I should only have 1 fate point.
Unless you
shouldn't
feel like you're done with that goal.
I? Kind of, except in that I want to rewrite it. Katerina is no longer interested in Piotr being alive with her. We'll put it that way. So, does
Yeah.
that sound like it's concluded,
Like
or
if you don't want him to be yours anymore, then I would say that's like
no? No, she still does. She just has a different definition of what that's gonna mean.
okay. Yeah, so you've worked
Okay,
towards
so
it.
just one. So I should only have 1 fate point, not 2.
Yep.
Um,
Did you spend your
I
last
spent
one?
all
Victor?
4 today.
Okay. Well, you've got 1.
I do think I compelled myself a couple times.
Okay.
I think I compelled Still a Wolf twice. Once when I chased after Piotr,
Yeah.
and once when I fought the villagers.
Yeah, because you could have not fought.
Yeah, I could have
You
just
could have
gone.
not chased Piotr, and you could have not fought the villagers.
Yeah.
So I agree.
I think that's it. I'm trying to decide if rather than take that. No, I want to keep the seeing red consequence. I want to have that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Okie doke. So up to 3.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you have a concussion too.
Yep.
Alrighty. That's everyone. And you know what? Fate points aren't looking too bad now. That's not so bad.
No, they're much better than when I started. So
Yeah.
it's great.
You all got a bunch of like consequence tokens except for Qatar.
Just in time for the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
everyone.
don't have any consequences.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for playing. It was great to get back into it after such a. I was like, what are we doing today? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, super fun. Should we sign out?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. DC, go ahead.
What's up? My name is DC. You can find me on Twitter at Dungeon Commander without the R. I am currently working on my game that actually just released in early access, Mutants in the Night 1.0, that you can check out on my pinned tweet. Follow me on Twitter for all that update goodness. And I'm going to be streaming soon-ish. I'm not giving you a time frame. Soon.
What kind of stuff do you
Yeah.
want to stream?
I'm just gonna stream like variety gaming stuff during the day, and then games at night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be running mutants, and I'm gonna be playing games during the day, and probably end up talking to all of my designer friends on stream about stuff.
Woo.
'Cause that's what I do during the day, anyways.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Might as well. Cool. Nox. Wherever you are.
Hi, I'm Nox. You can find me on the Twitters. I have my own little channel where I stream my own games, Fable Tales. You can follow that on Twitter, Fable_Tales. See what's going on there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet at the end.
Cool. Amir.
I'm Amir, and finish the hat. This is my one beautiful geeky outlet. I'm currently in the musical Come From Away over here in Toronto, and you actually can catch me tomorrow night as I play a middle-aged British man in the musical. This is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, this is awesome.
How's your British accent?
It's fine, Joel. How dare you just assume it would be horrible?
I just want to put you on the spot. No, it's okay. Thanks, Amir. Last but not least, Dylan.
That's me. Hi, I'm Dylan Grinder Anarsis. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Anarsis. On Twitch and YouTube, I have RPG game streams. I have a long-running campaign that is a Dungeons and Dragons Adventurers League Tomb of Annihilation game. That is happening tomorrow night at 5 o'clock Pacific. And then on Saturdays, actually this upcoming Saturday, we have the final episode of my show Fun Shots, where we will be playing Blades in the Dark, a game by John Harper. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's fantastic. And the players are cultists. So that's going to be interesting. And perhaps more importantly, or of equal importance for that day, is after the session, I will be making 2 big RPG show announcements. So, yeah.
Cool.
I'm really stoked for that.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, all of my links are on all of the places, so check those out. And Joel, thanks for running this, and everybody, thanks for playing.
I'm like so excited that I actually ran it today. That's like the biggest deal. Yeah, I am Joel Leolio on Twitter. I stream here on Pen and Paper Pals every other Monday. I'm over on Nox's channel every other Monday doing Dungeon World. I've got a new computer, and I like DC. I'm really ready to like start streaming a lot more. I want to like stream some like just me playing video games, which is something I've always wanted to do, but just didn't have the technology to do it. And stream more role-playing games. I'm starting to talk to a couple people about maybe starting another campaign, but probably not until after I get back from Japan. But yeah, I'm really excited to start doing some more things finally with this computer. And yeah, just doing more geeky, nerdy things. Thank you everyone for joining. Thanks everyone here playing with me. You're all wonderful. And we will be back on July 9th for our like season finale of Fate of the Woods. And we'll keep you posted on what we're going to do after that. Yeah, thanks again for joining us tonight. Bye, everyone.
Night.
See ya.